for the grades. So you have the total possible points earned versus the total points that the students make. It's a pretty self-explanatory setup. Things are based off of how much each thing is worth. So one thing may have 40 points, another thing may only have 20 points. It just depends on the weight or value of that particular grade. I do try very hard to put that in progress book very quickly. The only thing that sometimes takes a little bit longer is going to be the playing tests. Let's just put it this way, if every student has 1 minute of a playing test, that's 100 minutes worth of grading time. Plus you have to count the time in between for it to load, for me to close it and open it. Then you have to include the time for me to actually write in the grade. Then you also have to include the time to put the grade into progress book. So you're talking about 4 hours for every one of those tests. Okay, so it takes some time to do that, unfortunately. So that's the only thing that usually takes me a little bit more time. Otherwise, the grades are usually up to date and ready to go. I do offer extra credit. Those are available throughout the year. Do not let your students tell you otherwise. They have extra credit opportunities right now. If they do extended range on their scales, they can get extra credit for every test. Those tests are all posted, ready to go. There's also other opportunities throughout the year, which I will announce. The different things I give grades for: playing tests, homework, assignments, practice log, participation, concerts, other things that come up along the way. All known assignments, here's the real kicker. I don't know many teachers that do this, but all known assignments, all the scale playing tests, all the practice logs, all the weekly grades, all of the concerts, all of that for the entire first semester is already posted. So students know exactly what to do, what's due, and you as parents can also log in and see that. That information is posted on Progress Book. The playing tests are available already on Google Classroom, so the students can go ahead and do those in advance. So there's no excuse, they know what's expected as far as those things are concerned. Yet, every year there are students that don't complete the assignments. So please stay up with that. Next one for me, talking about those playing tests. We are doing these, they are required. We are currently doing Google Classroom. All of the students have been shown how to do this in class. This is new for Timber Creek, is using all of this technology. We're utilizing it to its fullest. Students are to record a video and post it to Google Classroom, of which then I can open up and see the video and give them an assessment based on that playing test. So the playing tests are required to be submitted through Google Classroom. Now, if a student has an issue, then they need to email me and let me know the situation, and then I will work with them. But to come to me the day that grades are due and say, oh, well, I couldn't turn it in, there was something wrong with my laptop. I'm sorry. Okay? You have a responsibility to make sure that you're communicating and working on the issues. I really generally am pretty good about working with you. If you have an issue, I understand technology can be our best friend and it can also be our enemy. Okay, but you have to communicate that, and I will work with you on it. There are several students that turned in the very first round of tests that had issues. I gave them all full credit for it as soon as they got it in, and I even talked to them in class. I sent reminders to them, all that kind of stuff. So please work with me on that, and I will help you, but it is required. They have to submit it through Google Classroom. All right, going on to the next thing. By the way, those are due on Mondays by midnight. All scale tests by Mondays at midnight. All right, the next thing is talking about Charms. This is our online database. This is our resource for everything that we do. It's our means of communicating to you through email. It's our means of having mail-outs, all that kind of stuff. We keep our inventory of instruments on there. Your financial statements are up to date and on there as well, so you can always look and see where you're at financially with the program. So that's available to you. We also have calendars and documents that are posted on Charms. For you to log into Charms, you simply go to charmsoffice.com. Okay, it's charmsoffice.com. The school code, TCREEK-HSO. Simple, Timber Creek High School Orchestra. That's what it stands for. TCREEK-HSO. And the password is your student's OCPS student ID number. So the 480 number, that's their password. Now, some of them have gotten creative and changed it. Okay, hopefully you know what that is. If you don't, I can reset it. So shoot me an email and I'll change it, and then that way you can log in. Okay? All right. I think pretty much for the most part we understand that. Just so you know, a lot of you are enrolled in multiple programs up here that use Charms. All of our music programs use it. Some of you may have siblings in another program or even another school that uses Charms. Totally fine, but just know this. Charms, it took me a while to figure this out. Charms sends out an email from, I think it's Charm Sender is what it is. It's the same address for any program, it doesn't matter. It's the same address, but in your device, it might show up as, say, coming from the band parent president. It was like 2 years ago, band parent president. Or it might say that it's coming from Mr. Conrad over at Avalon. I promise you that's not really what it is. But your device is programmed to create an auto, template or creation of a contact, something. That's what a lot of these smart devices do. Okay, they will just automatically create that, and so it'll come up as that, even though that's not really who it is. Okay, so it populates a name there. You want to be careful of that. Make sure if you want to go in and correct that. Anything from Charms, it's going to come from Charms Sender. So it could be from the band, it could be from AMS, it could be from here. Just make sure you're aware of that, and I would look at all of them, just to make sure you got all the information, okay? All right, moving on to the next thing, practice logs. These are due on Sundays by midnight. They must be turned in via Charms. We have not done any of these yet, but now that our first concert is out of the way, students, they start. Okay? Yay! So, practice logs. We can't become better musicians if we don't practice. So we have to practice. All right, so they get a grade for that, and they have to submit it online, and it is a time sequence. It has to be in by midnight. That's the way the program works. Okay? So just make sure you're aware of that. All right, so moving on, we're going to go to our next group.